Welcome to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak, and I am joined with my beautiful co-host, Miss Connell. How are you, girl?
I'm very well, thank you, Kaz. How are you doing?
I'm very well. You're looking very beautiful over there.
Thank you. And can I just say the same applies to you, my darling. I can see you rocking those Mau Mau designs.
Oh, girl, Mama, Chantel, woo, Chalet, she is just the one, right?
I mean, you switched me onto her, so can I just say, you know, I'm just following after you.
Okay. But, you know, I'm so excited to meet these young, amazing, no ordinary men that we have in the studio right now with us, the Unirunners. So we have Unirunners co-founders. We have Karim Clarke and Connell right here with us. How are you guys?
I'm fine, thank you.
So how did Unirunners start? What is Unirunners?
Do you want to go or should I?
Nah, you go on.
Unirunners is a app that we built together when he was in university in Kent. It's just an app where you can deliver. It's an app where you can deliver food and local stuff that's in the area. So if you need toilet paper and stuff like that, you can get it delivered to your house. We kind of started in his room, a couple friends, and then we built up from there. And now we run a courier service in Kent. It's doing not too bad. Delivering things.
Wow.
So were you both at university when this all started?
Nah, it was only me. I was at university. Stevie used to spend a lot of time with me.
Yeah, we had a lot of previous endeavours, and so this was one of our, our most
business ideas. I guess.
Better ideas that we had. Yeah.
So, all right. So if you can elaborate a bit more. So in regards to where you said you deliver and everything else, what made you then step out doing that? Is it something that you experienced yourself?
Right. So when I was at university, young, about 18, 19, I was studying in University of Kent, which is not too far. I was studying business management, and it was virtually impossible to get anything delivered, including hot foods. Pretty much anything I wanted, even like food delivery companies couldn't deliver to my house because it's just too far, or this area wasn't like built up enough, I guess. So after I graduated, we decided that we wanted to give students in the area the opportunity to get anything they want delivered to their house. That's how Unirunners started, I guess. With me having a business management degree already, Stephen being a serial entrepreneur, he's been doing this since he was like 14, 15. He's had all sorts of different businesses that he started. We decided that we would start this together. So yeah, after I graduated, I think Stephen made the app, taught himself how to. He's just one of them wizards. He knows how to create anything out of nothing, I guess. So yeah, he taught himself how to create simple apps. We managed to get a simple app on the App Store and the Google Play Store on Android, and yes, everything since then has just been history. We've managed to have over 8,000 downloads, over 20,000 orders, and yeah, we've just taken off since then.
I guess if very first start, I used to go when we had a car wash at the time, so I used to come from London to come see him, and I always used to see people come to his door and knock on his door like, Karim, can you drop me to the McDonald's, etc. And it was always late at night.
I was like your local taxi man, I guess.
Were you charging them at the time as well?
No,
just general.
His housemates would always come down and be like, hey, he's the only one with a car, so can you like give us all a lift? And they'd all jump in the car, this tiny car with like 20 of them, and drive to McDonald's. And I thought, okay, well, like you could make that journey more comfortably and probably make some money off it. And that kind of idea was like festering in my head. So by the time he had graduated, he was like, hey, let's make this happen and come back next year back to university after you graduate and try to really cook this and make it happen. And it kind of went exactly like that and it worked, I guess. We had a few people employed in the university and it just expanded. We employed more part-time people, more full-time people, and then just figured out our standing in it. It's a big industry, so it's kind of like where do you stand and how do you make your mark in that industry? And I feel like we've really grasped a little business ecosystem that is pretty good for us. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
So let me just get this right. This all started from the fact that students at your university
Yeah.
couldn't easily go to the shop to get a Snickers bar
Yeah, literally.
or a super malt
Yeah.
or whatever it might
Literally,
be,
Literally.
or a
just-
McDonald's.
yeah, anything.
And you had a car, and so they would often come to you, and then you saw a business opportunity in that to
Yeah.
provide that to them. I think that is really, really amazing.
Thank
And
you.
also, not only the fact that you saw the business opportunity, but you actually created
Yeah.
the platform, which is the app. Can you tell me a bit more about that? Because for somebody like myself, if I thought I had to create an app, that would probably, if I'm honest, put me off because I think I don't know how to do that. So how
Well,
did you do that?
I guess, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. We went to a few people originally saying, okay, we've got an idea. It must not cost too much to make an app. Like, we've got some, you know, money behind us. Let's go find out how much it costs. And then we was getting some crazy quotes, and it was like, okay,
Yeah, we were getting quoted about 25,000,
upwards
40,000,
40,000.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like,
And we're only, 22, 23 respectively.
yeah,
so
yeah.
to fork out that type of money for
at
an
that
app,
time, yeah, it was
it's
nuts.
like,
yeah.
whoa.
And
So-
you still got your university fees to
Yeah,
pay, you
yeah,
know,
it
everything
was
as
like-
well.
I'm still in big debt with this
And-
uni thing, so yeah.
When we're seeing all these numbers come up, we're like, okay, we definitely need to figure out a way to do this.
There has to
without-
be an
you know what I mean?
alternative.
There has
There's
to be
always an
Always an
alternative.
alternative. So we thought, okay, so we figured out easier ways to make apps, like more simplistic ways. Can you make a website and then make an app from your website? Can you have a online SaaS company make your app for you and then rent it out from them, etc. So we explored loads of ways. And then I had to figure out, okay, the best way to do this is to just really do it ourselves. So that's what it really was. And it was like, okay, how do you make an app? How do you know what I mean, Google and then
Regular Google search,
Google
right?
search, and then
When in doubt, ask Google.
search, and then little Google search, and then more Google searches, and then now we're at
A few
Unirunners.
Google searches later,
Yeah.
and you got successful business
yeah.
going.
Well, yeah. We'll
So
be
what-
soon.
So what challenges did you occur from that? There must have been some challenges. I mean, surely you couldn't just create the app and it just like, bang, it just worked, you know.
Right, so when I think our first version of the app was, it was horrible. It didn't look good. It didn't function well. We were always having complaints about why isn't this on the menu, or why is this disappeared, or just all sorts of questions.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been easy. I think we're now on like our third version of the app. We're about to go on to our fourth. And that's in 2 years. Is it even been 2 years yet? No.
2016 September.
So
So
it's 2
Yeah, 2
years in
years.
September. So within a year and a half, we've had 3 different versions of the app. It hasn't been easy.
yeah,
So
there's loads of is micro challenges. You know, like
At
we've
first-
never. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
at first, we couldn't. For example, we couldn't take payments on our app.
Yeah, we
so
have to do cash.
we would have someone go and buy the food and then deliver it to the customer, and the customer's card's declining, or
Oh,
like
okay.
they haven't got enough cash. So
Cash.
there's been
Yeah.
so many
There's
challenges.
so many
that
small
we've had.
challenges. Like
Yeah.
once, because this business is cut. The bit when it started, we're just going off the top of our head kind of situation. So it got to the
Yeah.
point where it was like, okay, before. So now the customers make an order and they pay through the app straight away. Whereas before we used to carry around PDQ machines for all of our drivers. So then we'd have to go buy whatever they want in cash. They'd then go with a PDQ machine to the person's door and say, yeah, tap your card, etc. But there's a big gap in the money there because they might not have the money to pay for it on their card. So then there's a lot of students that
losing
wasn't able to
money,
pay
for
for it. We're
example.
losing
Wow.
money on orders.
Yeah.
So we had
And
to
they're
figure out-
placing orders.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great. So there's a lot of little
Student
things.
life. Eh?
Yeah. They want it for free.
Students,
There's a lot of small things. You know, just learning how to run a business. You know, like
yeah, from the ground up, really.
you're not. We're not. As even though he described it as, I'm not. No one's a serial entrepreneur. I'm not like really in this chat and making businesses, but you have to learn the small things, how to speak to people, how to present yourself to certain people, understand power in situations, understand how to present yourself in a room. When you walk in the room, smile, stand up straight. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. And it's hard to grasp those because you're dealing with people now. Whereas our other businesses, you never really had to speak and deal with people and chat to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's all different.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know, right? I wish I
I'm
had
actually
that.
really, really blown away by your story.
Just
Because
like-
for 2 young guys at uni, a simple thing like people bothering you, knocking you up every night to go MacD's,
Yeah,
like, you know,
it's ridiculous.
to end up with a business is fantastic. I was really quite, taken by something that you said, where you actually said where there's a will, there is a way. And you had the will, and you found the way.
Yeah.
But you know, you've spoken a bit about the challenges, and Kaz asked you about the challenges, but surely at some point in time, money has got to come to, in order to invest in a business, right? So, so that's part of the challenge as well. And how did you overcome the challenge of needing, you know, obviously most businesses need some kind of funding.
Yeah.
How did you guys go about that?
So we started with nothing.
Yeah, zero.
I think we started this business on, well, I was in £27,000 debt with my uni fee.
Wow.
That's what we started with.
Yeah, we started minus.
And yeah, how do you manage
I don't know. We just I'm laughing.
Did you approach people? Did you do a GoFundMe? Did you
So there's a
harass
few,
family and friends?
there's
you
a
know?
few. I guess there's a few. So it's anything that you. So we did a few things. At first, the business had to make money from the get-go because we didn't have the money to do it. So it's like, okay, we've got a tenner in our pocket. Let me buy something for £10, charge someone £12.50 for it. It's very monetary, linear ways.
Just, yeah,
and then we realized,
systematical.
okay, we need more money now to then buy more amount of orders, etc. So we've dig deep into our pockets, asked family and friends, and then we've been able to pay our family and friends back for certain bits of money, etc., etc. We did a crowdfunding campaign. There's still things in the air about the crowdfunding campaign because of certain things that happened. And
yeah, I think after our first year of trading, we managed to raise 150,000 towards our business, which we didn't actually end up going with because we wanted to keep the whole 100% of our business. So we would have had to give away 20% equity for the business for the 150,000, but we decided long term, we've got a good vision for this business. We can do this ourselves. We've managed to make money from it already. So yeah, we decided not to go with that. There's been loads of different
angles to take and ways to go.
avenues we've taken with funding and stuff, but again, we've managed to do it ourselves. We're just working, I guess.
Yeah, just keep working. I think, you know what I mean? Just it's a business. It's a story, and it's gonna. Things will develop. Things will happen, and just take the opportunities that arrive, or just create opportunities if you can. You know what I mean?
I love that.
So you're currently just in Kent, right? So is there any possibility of you coming to London, travel to Birmingham, Manchester?
Are we going to let this out?
No, we should.
What, is there a secret?
So,
It's got to be,
right,
come
so
on.
Currently we operate in 2 universities in Kent, one in Canterbury and one in Medway. And the business called Unirunners is targeted specifically at students. However, we've decided that we're going to move to London. Our area, northwest London, where we're from.
North
And
Wizzy.
also, yeah, and
Wizzy in the house.
Always representing.
and also South London as well. I think South East London and potentially Croydon. We're looking to target those 3 areas at the beginning of July. It'll be called City Runners, so you should download the app on your phone, and yeah, you'll be able to get anything delivered. It's all part of our expansion plans. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people will be able to benefit from our service.
Brilliant.
Yeah, true. Because you know, sometimes late at night I don't know, fancy a pack of digestive biscuits, and I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to walk outside my front door to get them. This is the beauty, isn't it?
I think I better download the app. So
I think I better be downloading that app. But one of the things I want to ask you guys before we move to wrap up is, you said you were quite modest actually. You said you're not really a serial entrepreneur, but from listening to them, Kaz, I think
14.
we would say, right,
This
that
young
you
man's
are.
got business since 14.
Exactly.
You know what I was doing
right?
I was 14. I wasn't thinking about business.
We'll save that for another show.
Yeah, definitely.
I often find that young people who have who enter into, being really ambitious and being entrepreneurs and thinking I can do this for myself, somewhere along the line they would have seen something, someone will have inspired them, or something they would have seen, whether it's a family member, a parent, a brother, a sister. So I ask you, who inspired you, the two of you? Who did you see that inspired you? What kind of lit that flame within you that brought you to where you are today?
I would start from, I guess, the family inside my house. I've got 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and my parents, obviously. We've all pretty much been hard workers without me realising. It's not like there's anything that's spoken about, you have to work hard, you have to stay consistent, you have to, it's not anything that's really been spoken about, but I guess it's just something that's always run deep in the family. All my family works hard. My older brother works really hard. My younger brother works really hard. My mum works her socks off. And I feel like with the right amount of dedication and hard work, you have to stay committed, I guess. You have to have that element of commitment to anything that you're going to put yourself in. If you're going to put yourself in a situation, you have to be committed. You have to know that you want to be, you have to want it enough to have that level of commitment to stick at it, because this hasn't been easy. I know
I can
we're just here
imagine.
talking about this business and this, you made an app, and now it hasn't been easy. There's been certain times where we're not going to do this anymore. We might as well pack in this whole business. It's not going to work. We're not going to be able to do this. Why us? Why would we be?
It does help having both of us.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
because we have that element of, we can talk to each other and we both give each other a kick up to make sure that we stay committed to the business, because it's a commitment we've made. As soon as we started this business a year and a half ago, we had to stay committed. So I would definitely give a lot of it to my family. Not necessarily that they told me to be committed or to work hard. It's just something that I've seen in all of my siblings and my parents and people around me. So
I can't lie. I think it would be, it's family and surroundings for, I think, both of us. You know what I mean? My dad was always, he never told me I can't do anything. You know what I mean? And I think that's always been when I was 19, I wrote a book called Underdog Psychosis. And one of the big things I put in the book is the things that my dad was telling me when I was young, it made me think I could do anything. If I leave the house, I could do whatever I need to do in life, I can do it. And he just filled me with so much confidence from young that he just believed that, it just didn't faze me when other people was like, hey, that sounds crazy. It's like, it just it seems pretty normal. And I feel like knowing Karim's family as well, it's exactly the same. We don't believe, a lot of people from where we're from and our socioeconomic background, a lot of people they tend not to think like they can do things. They don't feel like they can.
It's a mindset, isn't it?
Stand, you got gates around it.
Some people feel like there's a limit to what you can achieve or how far you can go, or don't think outside the box, I guess, don't think broad enough.
And it's subconscious limitations, isn't it? And I think
of course.
your guys, you were speaking about your father and you were speaking about the hard work and determination in your family. These are things that get programmed into your subconscious without you realising it as you grow up. And so, fortunately for you both, your minds were shaped so much so that you didn't have those limitations. But I think for those people who maybe do have limitations, Kaz, listening to these guys' stories can actually, so young,
inspire them.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, from Northwest London, not from a necessarily privileged background, like anybody else, it's possible, there will be people out there watching who will see themselves in you. So I think that's super inspiring.
Can we also ask you if you could just speak into the camera, just speak to individuals that may have a business mindset like yourselves, but obviously, like you said, in terms of keeping up the momentum, you've both had to motivate each other, and also because you both have the vision. But for somebody that may potentially be on a business venture, what would you say to them to inspire them now, to encourage them?
Don't give up.
Don't stop.
Yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going. Work really hard. Work smart as well. It's not all about working hard. You have to work smart. Think about the right thing to do sometimes. At all times, I guess. Yeah. And just don't give up. Keep going.
There's going to be a lot of days where you're thinking, is this going to work? Is this going to pop off? Yeah. It will pop off. Just carry on doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no timestamp. There's no one's putting a timestamp on it. You just got to keep going.
Even if, and that's young people, that's old people, that's people from 50 upwards, 60 upwards, 40 downwards. It doesn't matter where you are in life. If you really want to do it, you can do it. You know what I mean?
Stay committed.
Stay committed. Just put your head on it, and you can do it. Innit?
And what's your social medias feeders? How can our audience connect with you guys?
We're Unirunners everywhere. Instagram, we're Unirunners.
UNIRUNNERS.
Twitter, we're Unirunners.
Yeah. Soon to be City Runners.
City Runners. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, stay on Unirunners Twitter.
Stay on Unirunners. We'll keep you updated, definitely.
I think we can have them back.
Definitely.
Once you get City Runners up and running, pardon the pun.
We'll test it out.
Yeah, we will.
Well, thank you guys for even just having us.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for doing what you're doing. The boldness, and it's just amazing how it's just such a simple idea. You just look at something and need, and then look what they've created. Amazing, right? Yeah. And sometimes we think about things, we think, oh my gosh, it's got to be huge, it's got to be massive. But it's just what the people need.
That's right. And I think what they've demonstrated is that probably a lot of people have thought about the needs, but their thoughts and the limitations of their thoughts based on what their experience has been stop them at thinking, yeah, that would be a really good idea, but I don't know how to do it. And they stop there. And I think what you guys show is that actually that's the starting point. Like, you don't stop there. You start there and you say, right, how can this be done?
Yeah.
So,
Amen.
thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for both
Thank you,
being
guys.
here.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
Janelle,
Yeah.
this is where we have to say bye to our audience.
Oh. Would have liked to talk some more.
Me too, right?
Yeah, but
Gosh.
guess what? That only means that we have to come back next week.
We'll have to do part 2.
Part 2,
Definitely.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so guys, until next time, we hope you enjoyed this episode and make sure you subscribe, share, because sharing is caring. So until next time, from myself and Janelle, bye.
Bye.
That's brilliant.
Woman, you are the start, you are the beginning, and that is